Welcome back to Stacking the Deck. Joined here this evening, we've got Easton Evans
Yo.
and Kurt Tax Masterson.
It's me.
A lot of fun TCG related news. We can lead with the big stuff and go to the small stuff, and then make the small stuff seem like big stuff.
Yeah,
Love that.
I like that.
All right. What have you been getting into, Easton? Have you picked up any new card games? Is there anything that's piquing your interest, or do you think we're in a bit of a lull?
I think we're in a little bit of a lull. I'm particularly interested in games that are still staying very small and nimble, not trying to go too nuclear really early on or even in this period, just because I think that this is a little bit more of I think the winter and the summer times typically are less participation in TCGs just because of whether it be family obligations or different things like that. People are just so busy and they're not inside as much as they will be after Christmas and Thanksgiving and New Year's. And so basically just kind of like staying nimble, seeing what games are like being really smart and scrappy with their resources, as well as, maintaining their integrity by, fulfilling things and hitting timelines and deadlines and also putting out good stuff. So I've been continually looking at and participating in Chronicles Arcane. I did get some stuff from Nom Nom this month. So that was good. I'm trying to think. I've been looking at, what was it? The Bo Jackson, a Ballerina. Yeah, it's funny. Look it up.
I saw Caster Society running like whatnot shows on it.
What, BoJack Horseman? That's what it sounds like.
No,
Bo Jackson, Battle
Bo Jackson, the
All-American Superstar Hall of Famer.
Yeah. It's an interesting concept that's trying to bridge like traditional trading card games with like the sports world, and it's interesting. I saw a little bit of it. This is before all the whatnots were popping up with it, but I saw it and it looked kind of cool. I don't know if it's taken off or not, but I did see it. It'll be interesting. I'm gonna go to Dallas card shows in like a couple next week, and traditionally Dallas card show is about, I'd say like 70-30 sports, and then the 30 is other. So it'll be interesting to see if any of the big sports tables have any of that stuff, or if they're interested in any of that stuff. It'll be cool to.
This sounds massive. Why is this not like the top news? This sounds like epic.
It's been around for a while.
Huh?
Yeah.
What? Okay, so I mean, it's not that hot then, I guess.
Well, I mean, by a while, I mean it's been talked about for a couple months at least. It's been on my radar.
Yeah.
And I think people have just gotten it in hand recently.
Yeah, and I think right now they've also been very heavy in sports. Like they have a lot like sports card collectors, that kind of area, not necessarily TCG enthusiasts, where they're trying to mesh the two by having like a coveted sports card that might resemble your favorite athlete, but it also has some abilities within the game, and you can use that in the game to play as well.
Okay. All right. Well, cool. I'm gonna keep my eye out for that. That sounds like an opportunity.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds like we got to get in on some Bo Jackson Battle Arena gameplay,
dude.
Yeah.
Then we'll follow it up with some Beyblades.
Hey, those are going strong, man. Don't hate
You like that.
Yeah. Shout out Beyblades. All right.
Beyblade.
All right,
Have
Kurt.
you played any of this, Easton? Have you played any of this Bo Jackson game, or do you just think it's a concept?
Yeah, I think it's a cool concept. I haven't played any mostly because I don't know if they have a TTS mod or anything like that. But that's my first introduction is TTS mod. Then if I like it, then I'll start to invest a little bit more. I don't like to really go all in on anything these days. So once they get a TTS mod or something of that such, then I'll, start to invest a little bit more time and energy or anything like that.
Okay.
Not gonna lie, the art though, it's a little it does have like a Fiverr aesthetic.
Oh yeah, I'm probably.
Oh,
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. I mean, sort of, kind of, it kind of looks like a step up from like just straight AI derived.
Yeah, I wouldn't say
Yeah.
it's AI. Like you can
It's
tell
definitely
it
not
looks like
that.
somebody drew it, but not like, like a studio out in India kind of threw it together thing.
Yeah, maybe so. You never know. I was gonna say, I mean, it's always interesting when you see like a famous athlete and they just kind of slap their name on something, it typically kind of ends up in that spectrum. But I'm trying to give Bo Jackson Battle Arena a fair shake. So
I mean, some of the cards look sick. I will say there's some like the ones in the slabs I'm looking at, they look solid. They look cool.
yeah,
But the ones that are just straight, I don't know, the digital art.
Dude,
I
you
don't
get
know.
3 autographs per booster box.
Well, I guess that matters. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. So, Kurt, I'm gonna let you lead off on Pokemon news. Let's rip through that real quick.
Dude, I love Pokemon news. I think like the biggest thing that was reported on and really has been talked about. Obviously, we've talked about it for the last month on the podcast. Was the new Eevee set coming out, Prismatic Evolutions, the new holiday set for Pokemon, and by holiday set we mean there's no booster boxes. These are only being sold in like special edition boxes, like
Stonks.
like an Elite Trainer box or like a little 3-pack blister, stuff like that, like 151. Everyone kind of knows 151. It's the same thing as that. There's not going to be any dedicated booster boxes to this, and it's been reported that allocation is dwindled.
Cooked. It's cooked.
Because
Dwindled's like you're like downplaying it, bro. This like everywhere. So you were talking about that last night, so I did some Googling on it just because I was like, oh well, I got some of those coming my way. People on the Facebook groups, they're fiending. Like this one guy was like, hey, I'll buy them in bulk. He wants bulk pricing on it for 120 in ETB. And I said, huh? And that's the flipper price right now. So like you already know he's undercutting like,
TCG low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much are they going for?
On TCG? I think they're up to like 140 for the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes, which comes with a few more packs and a specifically stamped, like an exclusively stamped promo card. I think it's
this
like
one's an Eevee though. It's an Eevee one. So
it is an Eevee, but historically, it's not the Eevees that sell the Eevee cards. It's the Eeveelutions. People like the things that Eevee evolve into, not necessarily Eevee itself.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, so we got stocks on that. What's going on with the Pokemon TCG game? The Pocket.
Dude, they've done it again. We got another event over the holiday break. We got another win 45 ranked matches to get a cool little badge for your profile event. We got another solo, for the solo girlies that don't like playing that mean ranked mode. We got like a single player versus CPU event where you can get exclusive promo cards, like a little stamp, exclusive artwork on it. I'm telling y'all, Pocket is doing it. We're set to have the next expansion drop either at the end of this month or the beginning of next month. Because this one that we got with the little Mew, it was a mini set. It was only 60 cards. It was a mini set. Yet people still, bought the shit out of it. Swipe that microtransaction. We're gonna have the next full set. They did a New Year's event where you just had to sign in for 7 days and they gave you free shit. They know what they're doing.
Woo!
They really know what they were doing. And dude, it's good. I'll be completely transparent with you guys. So I think I've spent $100 in Pokemon Pocket. Have I seen any of that money back? Not a cent.
Dang. Kurt
right
Cresswell
online.
got it like that though.
That's right.
I'm gonna drop a bill on it.
No, it's really just diverting from the Neopets fun all the way to the
Man, forget Neo.
Oh no!
Don't even get me started on that
Not
Cheeks
the
game,
Neo.
dude.
Holy moly!
On that Cheeks game, we ain't doing that. You know, speaking of card games that Kurt shills and enjoys playing, not Neopets, but I did hear that my local game store did get the new sorcery kits in finally. So
okay.
I'll be going to sorcery locals again, which I love to hear. I love to do. So
it slowed down a little bit for us because we were out of product and for drafts, and
that's how it goes.
we were like, "Dang, we can't even play. We can't play nothing. We couldn't do draft. Nothing.
We can just stare at each other.
Yeah.
Hey,
how's
you
it
guys,
going?
so you guys want to play like constructed? Nah.
For what? Glory.
Nah.
Local glory.
Yeah, Pocket's been popping off. I mean, it's continued to pop off. They know. They already got the formula down. You know, it's been out since what, November, and it still continues to gross millions of dollars, you know, every month. So
yeah, I mean, the future of gaming is mobile, and the future of gaming is not in paper, sadly. I mean, there'll always be fringe and outliers and people like me who just want to drink and play cards, but if you're interested in making the most amount of money, you're making a game for your phone.
Yeah, you need to make it where it's like Marvel Rivals, but for TCGs, because Marvel Rivals did a very good way of making like Valorant and Overwatch style games in that level of complexity and making it really simple for everybody to play and doing it where you can do it cross-platform. Like I think that the sweet spot, because technically if that's the case, then Hearthstone would be even larger. But I think the skill ceiling and the sweatiness of Hearthstone affects it in a way, and where you know people come and go from Hearthstone. Whereas now, I think the Pokemon game is simple enough to where people can just kind of mull around on their phone, but also makes you feel like you're still playing Pokemon and you're involved in the whole ecosystem.
I still think if they can ever put that on a Switch, like any Pokemon, you know, whether it be like the Live Simulator, their other, you know, again, like TCG Simulator and Pokemon Live, or even Pocket, I think it would just do so much better, even more than it already is. But, you know, to speak on them making millions of dollars, you know, every month, Pokemon, since it's been released, Pokemon's #1 grossing IP has been Pokemon Go. It's never the cards. It's never the video game. It's never anything like that. It was Pokemon Go as soon as Pokemon Go came onto the scene. So I think that they're only going to be making more. I don't know if Pocket's going to do better than it. If they do a couple of things, like they put in like trading with your friends and stuff like that, it will. I think that might be their new go-to, and it's going to be mobile. It's mobile with microtransactions. That's what makes you the money, and that's just how it's always going to be.
Yeah. It's like less friction to make a decision to gamble, right? It's all like everything's a gambling simulator nowadays, and
pretty much
the fact that you have to like hunt down the cards, like physical cards, so that way you can do the gambling component. Which is crazy because the gambling component's like negative EV
that's the worst part.
Every time for the digital thing. And like, okay, this is no slight towards anybody, but it still blows my mind. People get really amped up. They get really excited when they pull a chase hit on this Pokemon Go thing. I'm like, I mean, it's cool that you pulled it, but like,
show me it. Show me in paper.
show me the money. They're like, no, it's not about money. I got the chase hit. Oh, okay.
Cool story, bro.
You know, it's a cool dopamine hit. I mean, come on.
Thank you, Kurt, for being our devil's advocate.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Whenever I pull a chase in Pokemon Pocket, I get a nice little dopamine hit. I'm like, all right, good shit. You know, and that's
like, let me spend another $50.
No, it ain't like that.
Finish out my playset.
But it's like,
yeah,
all right,
they got a match. They got a match.
Maybe I'll play a couple more games. Maybe I'll spend a little bit more time on the app. So I definitely the reactions that some people have, maybe they need to find some more exciting things going on in their life.
I'm referencing like Leonhardt and like this guy
well, he's
who's
just doing it he's obviously paid by these people. What do you mean?
well, also it's acting, but like
Yeah.
again, the overreaction of like I swiped and I got to chase it, and you're like, let's go! Like, what? What are you? You are a grown man who is screaming about this imaginary chase card pull thing and something that you very likely don't even play. There's so many levels to it where I'm just like, ew.
Come on, man. You just don't get it. And that's okay.
Is it safe to say that Ed's not going to be playing?
Ed tried playing, but Ed's ADD or something caught in, and I just said I can't. Wait. You know what I do play? You know what? I play EDO Pro. And if you know, it's like a janky 1990s digital Yu-Gi-Oh digital client.
Yeah, didn't you play Master Duel for a bit?
Oh, I was cooking in Master Duel. I got platinum or master rank, and I said, all right, I beat it. I'm done. I'm the kind of person, I don't go back for the seasons. I hit the upper echelon. I said, okay, I beat it. Next. Never playing that again.
Never playing that again.
Yeah.
Ed was like religiously on it for a while, and I'm like,
oh my god, man, I was cooking. I was playing that penguin deck. Yeah, Floowandereeze.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Ooh.
I got them birds out there, and I was just slapping fools. And I love the rage bait. People hate that deck. Anyways, if you know, you know. Shout out to Floowandereeze. We like the birds.
God, if they put goat format in Master Duel, I'd play every day.
Dude, so would I. It's honestly, God, I hope an employer doesn't hear this, because like my biggest computer distraction is this just the Yu-Gi-Oh client that I got, because I can play an actual round or game of Yu-Gi-Oh in about 5 to 10 minutes. So anytime there's like a little small gap of like, oh, I could kill. Yeah, I could kill a quick like 5 or 10. Like, boom, knock them out. Yu-Gi-Oh games are quick. They're pop, pop, pop. All right, you lose or I lose.
Yeah.
Which is so great, because you don't have to sit at some table with some other mouth breather who hasn't bathed in 3 weeks. You can just, or when you rage quit, you just quit. Like you just command Q and you're out of it. So
I'm done with this.
Yeah. Sorry guys, I'm not the best person to play online. I get like that.
Yeah, he's wasting your time.
Yeah, exactly.
Having fun while he does it. The worst kind of person.
Exactly.
You hate that.
Yeah. Guy. I mean, speaking of Yugioh, they got that GX remaster.
Yeah, they and for those of you that don't keep up with Yugioh, they did a remaster of Duelist Kingdom, which was the first, season 1 basically. But it was only in Japanese. They didn't remaster it with English or any, dubs or anything
Not
like
in the
that.
Budget.
And getting a GX remaster, which honestly I kind of resonated with GX a little more. I loved it. I watched every episode. I watched every rerun they put on. Dude, I watched it all. Me and Jaden and the fat koala dude. I don't remember his name.
The fat koala dude was cool.
I like Jaden's attitude, because Jaden's a protagonist who acts like an antagonist. Like he acts like Gary from the original Pokemon. Here's smell you later.
It's very confident.
Yeah.
So they plan on remastering this in April, but I think what's gonna happen is it's not gonna get dubbed. So we'll get a Japanese remaster, but I don't want to watch that.
Oh, I can't be reading. No, not when I'm watching my Sunday cartoons.
I can't be reading whenever I'm watching Jaden summon Elemental Hero Wingman, dude. Like, I gotta hear it. So, but we can be hopeful. Maybe the outcry. We do know that Konami listens to their fan base. We talked about Stampede last week, or the last time. We talked about Stampede and how they did a user poll on what QCRs, what max rarity they're going to put in the set. So who knows? Maybe why didn't you dub this remaster? Maybe it'll come back around for GX. So I'm hopeful. I love it, but we shall see. We shall see in April. In April, for what? 4 months from now? 3 months from now?
We talked about this on the last episode. I think it's cool that they are making like the OVAs or OVAs of the actual like cards that have storylines within the game. That's cool. I think that's cool. I don't know.
Trying to diversify their IP a little bit, you know.
Yeah, it doesn't always have to be like kid that plays cards dot, anime. It could be the story of the cards dot anime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to Pokemon their Yu-Gi-Oh.
See.
Look at Easton. He's like, eh.
Yeah. At this point, I mean, it just doesn't. It seems like Yu-Gi-Oh has a set ceiling, and no matter what they do, they can do reprints. It's almost kind of like how it is with media nowadays. Like there's less and less original and new ideas, and it's just a bunch of like rehashed out IPs that are coming back and that are resurfacing because they know that they're actually the fan base and they don't want to lose money. And so I think that's what it is with Yu-Gi-Oh. They're just like, I know we don't want to try anything really new. We don't want to, affect our current base. So we'll just continue to like push out, retro stuff and fix it back up and remix it back up, and then everybody will love us.
But here's what I'll say. I'll say this about that. I think Yu-Gi-Oh of all of the big 3 IPs has the strongest anime IP element. Like I'd say Pokemon's biggest strength is the game. I think Yu-Gi-Oh's biggest strength is
I think their largest allegiance is the show.
It is the show.
It's the show.
For Pokemon?
Yes.
Yeah. What? I always thought it was the video game.
Listen, just because you haven't watched, dude, the TV show is the vehicle for everything.
Everything. Yeah.
I thought it was mostly the video game.
That's why a couple years ago they introduced a character in the show that plays essentially Pokemon Go.
I remember. My name's Go.
His name's Go, and he plays Pokemon Go in the show. What do you think that is? It's a vehicle to play Pokemon Go. No, it's huge.
I know, but I thought it was the other way around. Like the game, the Pokemon, like so many people played Pokemon Go, so then they were like, well, let's put a character named Go. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought it was the game leading the show, not the show leading the game.
It's really not. It's got good. I mean, and if you watch any of that animation, it's really good too. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
You should take a little while. At least watch like the Elite Four, the Pokemon League. That's what I don't really watch the Pokemon show anymore, except for the Pokemon League. Whenever the main character makes it to the end, he gets all the badges, and then he's got to go test his skills. It's been Ash, up until this point, before they've swapped over pro tags. But whenever Ash makes it to the Pokemon League and it's got to test, and maybe he'll win this time, and then he loses in top 4 or something. That's still some of the best Pokemon show you'll ever watch, because that's where they put all their animation budget into. It's high quality stuff, let me tell you. So I'm fairly confident in the show driving most of that. And that's also the easiest for them to collaborate with. And I'm just speaking purely in an Eastern market, like a Japanese market. Like a 7-Eleven collab isn't going to do it with cards; they're going to do it with the show.
All right, chat. So if anybody's listening to this, it's either I'm right or Kurt and Easton are right.
Yeah, vote with your comments in your
comments. Yeah, comment, subscribe.
Smash that middle finger button.
Yeah.
I mean, thumbs up.
And just know that if you want Easton back on the pod, you better agree with him.
Agree with me. I'm done. I'm done with y'all.
Or he's going back to the Shadow Realm for 2 more months.
2 more months.
Damn. All right. So I guess Pokemon the show is everything, and they win. My whole argument was leading into what the heck is Magic doing, because I don't even know. They're just I always thought of them as the card game first IP.
Floundering around.
But
they were the issue is that they are trying to take the pop culture kind of route with collabing with, of course, they have Stranger Things. Well, Dungeon Dragon, Stranger Things, Wizard Coast, Hasbro, the whole nine. They're trying to take we talked about this a while back. Every different card game or IP is taking a different approach. Magic is taking the pop culture collab approach, whereas Disney is really trying to go, I won't say woke, but they're trying to encompass a lot of different minority groups into their IP. And I think Pokemon's doing that too. I think they're like, hey,
I was just gonna say that Pokemon's totally doing that.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of like the conspiracies and like the crowns and the different colors, and that can go on and on and on. I think that they made a very like specific decision to, kind of migrate Ash out. Finally, he wins, move in the two new characters. I think that was made with high intentions. Like Turd and I were saying, the show, if I see a black kid and a lady and a young woman who are training to be Pokemon masters, I think it does a little bit more and opens some more doors that, you already got a core base. As long as you don't alienate them like Star Wars and Disney did, you can pretty much keep them along. Like, as long as you don't do nothing too crazy, you can keep that Pokemon base happy. Keep pumping out evolutions, add a couple here and there, and you're good to go. And then you can sprinkle in women and minorities, and there you go. You have a winning success. Whereas Magic the Gathering, they don't know what they're doing. They're trying to do all these collabs and see which one is going to hit for them. But none of them hit because none of them really like speak towards Magic. I think that what they need to do is do like they did with the crescendo of War of the Spark. It was not only a very important set from a card game wise, because every pack had a Planeswalker in it, but it also was basically the entirety of the Magic IP with Jace and Nicol Bolas and all the different Planeswalkers. They had a book. They had amazing rollout and activation with that. If you go on on YouTube and watch that video, it was such a hype video. But they need to rebuild out the IP and the brand, and then maybe roll that into a show. Now they are doing. I think they did do the Dungeons and Dragons show or movie, but they need to do that with Magic, and they need to really get into the lore, and that's how you get in. Kind of like Arcane with League of like I think that they take that kind of playbook and do that with Magic, they'll win.
I just think it's crazy because like Magic is supposed to have like decades of lore.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the cards are supposed,
right?
Like, the cards are supposed to tell. The cards
are
supposed to tell a story, but no, we have SpongeBob, and I'm like, huh? I would watch a Magic the Gathering show. There's even that Amazon Prime show. I forget what it's called, like Secret World, or they took all the video games and they've made like short stories out of them. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, so I don't understand why Amazon partnership, Netflix, whatever, get Magic in the mix and start sharing your story. But I don't know. They're so distracted with SpongeBob. And don't get me wrong, that SpongeBob set's going to cook. It's going to get crazy. So, I mean, they're not doing it like, if the goal is to make money, they're doing that right. I just don't know what the long-term, like what the end game in that situation is. It's turning into like, Magic's feeling almost similar to Weiss Schwartz or whatever,
where they just keep putting out sets and
just slap your IP on this thing and we'll call it a day.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
Well, you look at their most successful Universes Beyond set, and it was Lord of the Rings, and overall, I would say that Lord of the Rings has a little bit of that swords and sorceries fantasy vibe inherently part of that IP. So it sort of makes sense to be blended into the Magic the Gathering world, kind of like if you sort of squint and tilt your head, sure. But then some of this other stuff with like, I don't know, My Little Pony being canon now, right? All the secret layers are now part of Universes Beyond. So all these little weird things are just part of their. I don't know. It feels like Hello Kitty with MetaZoo. We can even bring it back to MetaZoo. That it just seems like a grasping at straws, and all the investors and speculators look at it as a good thing. Look at all the new people that will be a part of our game and buying in this ecosystem. but all it does is harm the brand in the long term, right?
Yeah, especially if it doesn't if it isn't along the same vein as like Lord of the Rings. Now, one will cook Game of Thrones. They have a Game of Thrones Magic the Gathering set that would cook.
Yeah.
Them trying to put these IPs that don't necessarily flow particularly well, like Transformers or even Stranger Things or even The Walking Dead was a little bit kind of weird, but it was okay. It wasn't too bad.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the issue is just them trying to continue. Their strategy is a lot of like volume instead of like big high points, whereas other IPs are really trying to have really high points and then have a decent baseline. But Magic, there is a new set every couple of months, and they're rolling in Secret Layers or Universe Beyond, and that's how they're trying to win. And it's not a bad strategy, but I think long term you're going to start to alienate your core fan base, one, and then two, people, I guess, there is going to be wallet fatigue eventually. There always is. At some point,
I think it's already happening, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think Magic has sort of lost with their core, which is people playing standard format, right? You want people to play the standard constructed format because it's the most recent 3 sets. So people have to keep buying the new set. But the most common, the most popular format right now is Commander, right? Which is a legacy set. Like, you can use any cards with modern borders, right? Outside of the, anyways, that's not, they've lost sort of the core component of a trading card game that continues to print new cards, which is, we want people to buy this new set and keep buying the next set because they have to, because their cards, rotate, or we power creep out. But now they've opened up this massive secondary market, and there's always been a secondary market for Magic. That's that they don't do rotations, they do ban lists. So they don't rotate it out, but their ban lists are pretty aggressive if they notice that something is, really taking over. We saw recently with Nadu has now been banned in every format just because of how poor, I wouldn't say poor card design, but just, it was, I guess you could say poor card design. It was just a really strong card. And they finally, that ban in standard was very swift. It was after a month and a half that they got rid of it in standard. Okay, that's fine. But it's weird to me. And they're sort of leaning into it by printing commander decks, with every, main set. But they're still putting out junk. They're still putting out a lot of junk. And I feel like I'm seeing a new Magic thing every 3 weeks, every 4 weeks. There's something that they're talking about, and I can't even keep up with stuff from. Dude, I still think that Bloomborough is the new set, and we're 4 or 5 sets past that.
Yeah,
I don't even know where we're at now.
I mean, that's past Dustborn or Dust. I don't even know at this point.
Yeah, there's the new Kaladesh one that people were upset, but I don't even know the name of it. I just know it's renamed to a different thing. The Kaladesh.
It's very rapid. Hey, check out this new set.
New set.
Right. And then it's here, and you buy, and the people will buy a collector booster box because they want to hit the shiny foils or the alt arts. And then it's okay, I spent my $500. I'm done now. No one's buying play boosters anymore. I think they're getting rid of that, just the non-foil sets. They're getting rid of just that standard set now. And it's oh, all right, a month's gone by, new set, check it out, new secret lair, buy it, it's foil, it's shiny,
new secret lair alert.
What does Uncle Rudy think about all this? I haven't listened to Rudy in a while.
Rudy loves it. The market's cooking for Magic right now.
Of course, he loves it.
It's actually doing really well. Surprisingly, it goes against what I would assume the market would do, which would just be burnout. But here we are.
It's interesting. I would love to see their sales numbers and stuff like that, just to see. It can't. Yeah. Is it up? It
sure.
Has to be up, right? But is it up percentage wise as what it was before the Hasbro print everything every month and a half You know, like, yeah, are they up that much?
I think
or-
all they did was they cut back print runs. So the idea, in my mind, the matrix of the way their business sort of works is like this, where um, I don't know if they're doing more or less sets, but let's just say they were doing they were printing more previously, but maybe doing less sets, or at the very least they were printing more.
Yeah.
And now the idea is like, oh well, if we could always just make more sets but print less product. So regardless, you're still capturing the same amount of dollars, but
Okay.
you're building up the secondary market and you're just making more of a different product. But it's all the same. If it's at the end of the day, it's all ink on cardboard boxes wrapped in cellophane, and it doesn't matter too much. Like, I don't think their R&D costs to develop new cards or new sets and do new things really isn't eating into their budget in a substantial way, where it's like, oh, we can only do 4 sets a year. So we just need to print a lot of these 4 sets. They could do 8 sets a year, crank out some random card designs, and say, okay, good enough, and we don't have to print as much.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's fair. It's just, and I guess you're right. You know, they just don't have to print as much. The secondary market goes
And it builds
crazy.
hype, right? And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, oh, okay, we can speculate on this, and then it brings new people in just based on speculation. Oh, there's money to be had, and it works for Pokemon. This is what Pokemon does, except I would say Pokemon doesn't really cut back their print runs. But then now I'm questioning that with the way things are looking, where I'm like, they knew Prismatic Evolution is going to stonk, right? Like, this is not a mystery. Why is this feeling so scarce already? And we all know they're going to reprint the living heck out of it, but
Of course.
I don't think those reprints are going to stick. I think there's so many people hoarding Pokemon in their garage, in their basement, in their attic, in their closet. And the fact that nobody really knows how much sealed Pokemon's out there. The idea, the investors like to assume that there's so much the minority, they're the 0.01% of the people that are speculating on Pokemon, that, you know, they can just keep hoarding it and it only goes up. I don't think that's the case. I think that's I don't know. I think that's a little bit of like a logical fallacy. I think because you're thinking that, it's very likely that many people are thinking that and doing that. And at some point there's going to be like there's going to be a breaking point where people need to dump. They need to get rid of these boxes.
Yeah, but when's that going to happen?
I don't know.
When people start getting out of the hobby.
When's that going to happen?
When the economy probably starts taking a larger dip, right? When you start seeing like higher unemployment rates and people trying to offset their cost of living with their their speculative investments.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that happens in the stock market all the time, but the problem is cardboard's not as liquid, right? It's it's a lot more liquid, right, when you're the only one selling it. But if everybody at the same time decides, hey, unemployment just spiked 3%, I'm out of a job, I need to sell my Pokemans. That's why really, if you are doing this, you should be dripping it out into the market slowly. I mean, I reckon all the Rudies, and Rudy wouldn't want you to know this or think this, but surely part of the strategy is to offload this into the bull cycles that we're in, as and you could still be buying as you're selling, but you're selling into the buying, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you're sold and your profit, you're still either breaking even or coming out a little bit ahead with whatever your profit is.
Yeah, but the goal at this point should not be accumulation. You shouldn't in a market where things feel like the way they are, now is not the time to be like buying and holding. You should be selling, and if you want to do some buying, you can, but definitely be doing some selling. Is my recommendation. I don't know. I'm like a guy talking into a microphone.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah,
couple of years, and even more this year is going to be kind of interesting. And I think we always say like the economy, but I think with the base that is huge into buying and selling and collecting cards, like, I mean, what is it? 60% of people who are making 6 figures or living paycheck to paycheck. And those are the people who probably are like doing well on the outside, but they're like close. They're like one injury, one blown gasket on their car away from
financial ruin.
Financial ruin.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I think that with that, like, it just takes one little stumble, and then things are going to start to unravel. And I think that that's a huge base of those people, because it's like, I think it's also a little bit psychological, because as a kid, you're like, you'll never make money from this. And so there's like, your parents keep telling you this, and you're like, I got to make some money off of this. So I'm going to buy, and I'm going to be the next Rudy, and I'm going to just hold, and I'm going to sell. And that might work for some people. Some people, got in really early and was able to kind of capitalize on that. But most people don't know what they're doing, and, are probably going to end up, spilling over into the streets with all their Pokemon cards.
One of the best videos that, again, a lot of people hate on Rudy, and Rudy does a lot of slimy, scummy things, but he, every now and then there's like nuggets of gold. And I think one of his best analyses or whatever was like the gambling economy that we live in now, where it's like us as a culture have accepted so heavily into gambling. And I even use, for example, this leads into like McDonald's doing Pokemon packs. Granted, they did that when we were kids, but like, you see that, like, I got this Panini little booster box here. I'll crack this real quick, but this was in my son's Happy Meal, right? And yeah, and you just get you get them at this age cracking Panini sports cards. And
dude, let's hit an autograph Grimace.
Well, the crazy thing is, like, there's actual hits in this. Like, people are buying them online, and this isn't news or a surprise to any of us. Like, of course there are, but it's just like little stickers and stuff. Oh, I got the Nina Kennedy.
Whoa! Did you get an ancient Mew? Man, that thing used to be.
I got Yuki Kamaji, the wheelchair tennis player.
Okay, sick.
Yeah. But my point stands. It's just
put
like
that on your mic.
Yeah, you're right.
Let's get that boy.
I don't know.
Anyway.
We're all gambling. We're all gambling. Try to offset your risk a little bit. Sell into it. Don't consider your investments part of your net worth. Consider it like a very speculative way that you could potentially make some more money, but that doesn't mean you've made money. You need to sell your stuff before you've actually, accumulated your profit there.
Unless it's Moonbryon, they keep going up and up and up.
Stop it. Somebody out there is going to listen, and they're going to be like, Kirk Cresswell said evolutions only go up.
That's right. And whenever you make thousands of dollars, you come find me at a card show, and you buy me a $20 hot dog, okay?
Oh,
and we'll
no.
And we'll enjoy it. Hey, for those of you that don't know, I collect Magic cards. That's my guy. I own as many as I can feasibly afford, which is all but 2 of them. And I bought in on the little fancy full art Magic card that came out recently. I was going to local card shows, buying them for $40 a pop, $35 a pop, $50 a pop. And they're up to like $200 right now. I'm pretty happy about that. Now, am I going to sell these? No, never. They'll go to zero with me.
You should.
I will not.
How many do you have, Kurt? How many do you have?
My current position is 11 Magic cards.
Oh,
all you really need to do is
not bad.
Sell,
that's okay.
All you got to do is sell 3 of them, and that off that you net 0.
Oh, when you put it like that.
If you sell 3, you paid for the rest.
I've paid for the rest. You're right.
Sell 4, and you could buy some more.
Oh,
not the same ones, but maybe lower quality. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Buy the dip.
Yeah.
Buy the dip.
It is what it is. It is interesting. Pokemon has only, dude, it's crazy how much Pokemon cards have been.
Well, yeah, and you shouldn't listen to me. I mean, I'm over here buying freaking MetaZoo, guys.
Sample growth.
Good segue. I'd love to hear what the Caster Cup champions thoughts are on these Meta 2, announcement.
Yeah, what does
Easton
Evans know?
The liquidation streams, we've talked about it the last couple of episodes, but we haven't had you around. So what do you think, man? What are your thoughts?
I'm still reserving some level of I guess my full thoughts until after they roll out the first set. I wish they would do more with their marketing plan and have it, if there is a plan, just because at this point, you're in a kind of like a void, a zone where it's only the couple people that are still like diehards. We are still clinging to the old MetaZoo, and you need to establish yourself as a new IP and a new brand. And even how the users and fans react to you react as if you were an old MetaZoo, as if Charlie was Mike and the entire team is like of the old guard. And what you have to do now is establish your marketing to again help shift the user's perception of Meta 2 right now. And they're not doing that. They'll come out with a set, and if they did now or even in March, you're competing against so much. So much. Now, I do think that it's smart for Q1 because it'll be tax season, so people can drop their dollars on some MetaZoo. So I think that's smart. But I think that you need to be using every minute, every resource you have to be shifting the narrative and the consumers, I guess, preferences and sentiments. Because right now you're basically getting them to get their pitchforks ready because of what's going on with the streams and the liquidation stuff. Like this is just really just a iteration of MetaZoo of old. This is nothing new. It's Charlie doing something, people wanting to have access to Charlie, getting mad because of something that's happening out in the wild, going back and sharing their disgruntledness onto the Discord server, and it's just a revolving cycle. It's nothing different in my opinion. Maybe the cards might be different, the art might be different, but you've done nothing up to this point to change customer sentiment and change the narrative around MetaZoo. And I think that if you don't, you're gonna be left with the same results as MetaZoo, because I mean, I think it's easy to have a star-studded team, but nobody has done it correctly of digging a game out of the grave and bringing it back up to where even it once was, let alone into a better position. So I love the hype. I love the team. Has tons of experience and has done this and this in this area, but you're in store for a very tall task. And from my vantage point, you're not doing anything to, again, shift the narrative and change the customer sentiment.
Do you care to speculate on why they're not doing that?
I think that the eagerness to get things done is a little bit daunting. I think that, or is a little bit more of a undertaking. It's far more of an undertaking than they thought. I thought they probably thought that, oh, it'll be a lot quicker, a lot easier. We have all these assets, but I'm sure like, oh, Mike didn't, showcase or give them the Instagram or the a lot of the socials, so they bought it from other parties to something trying to fulfill that's a huge hole in the marketing strategy, because basically now you have to rebuild and you have to bring in new people, and so there's that. I also think that there might be a little bit of, I'm not going to say maybe like they're cocky or arrogant, but I think that, I'm sure that when you buy something of this magnitude and you're like, we finally did it, the group that's coming together to buy this, they're probably like, oh, we can't let this, there's no way we can make this thing fail. Like, there's no way that old MetaZoo is complete idiots because they let this fail. Like us, not us. We have too much money. Our collections are too big, and we've done too much in trading card games, and our network is too wide for this to fail. And I think that can be the thing that is the straw that broke the camel's back, is that you're coming into this thing with a lot of like confidence, and not saying you're arrogant, but it could be perceived as that, and you're not understanding that you have like 90% of the people who are upset, rightfully so. God knows if we'll ever get any money or any compensation from the bankruptcy. Then you're layering on like hit or miss marketing spoilers, any kind of communication lines. Then you layer into them doing the whole liquidation situation. You're like, what? Even if Charlie was doing the right thing, which I think he's trying to do everything in their team and the group, because I don't think it's just Charlie. I think it's a group. It's I won't say it's like an Illuminati or cabal, but it's a group of people who, it's a group of people. I think
Freemasons.
the Freemasons, yes, skull and bones, if you will.
The free squonks, if you will.
Yeah, the free squonks.
From the free squonk.
The free squonks. We're gonna call them the free squonks.
The booze.
Yes, the free squonks that are running this thing and piloting this ship. They are under the mind frame of, hey, like even if they do everything right, you're still having to deal with the sins of the past. And so the best thing you can do is try to incorporate and bring in as many of your old people in while, marketing towards new people. But I mean, what is the postcard? I mean, that's cool. I don't think that, people are going to be salty about everything. There's also that no matter what, everybody's going to be upset that they didn't get included on the card. They didn't get a promo. They didn't get this. But people are really, really upset because there's product that they said wasn't made or was made to this exact order or this, that, and the third. And you're finding out on a stream that it's being sold or being liquidated off. And they didn't even maybe even try to fulfill anything or give you first dibs at buying it or something like that. Like anything could have been available. Like, what was it when Mike and them they were trying to sell like some of the international promos and had all this stuff.
Yeah, the grab bag. That grab never bag came to fruition, but they were like, "Oh, you come to a tower, pay what $100 for a raffle or some weird thing,
right?
And you get product mixed bag." I forget what it was, but it was like that. Mystery bag.
Exactly what it was. Yeah.
At first, it was the partners, and the partners were going to sell because that's when the ding ding bells and then all the internet. If they would have done that initially, they could have saved themselves. They could have made a little bit of money. They could have been like, "Hey, what we'll do is we'll give this at a large subsidized price, like for those who are in MetaZoo. Give you opportunity to get your hands on items that you couldn't get normally. Yeah. Then whatever's liquidated, or they could have had it like, oh, we're only going to give away 100 or 1,000 of some of this, and then we're going to go through the liquidation process. So if you didn't get it here, you can get it here, and there we go. But that's what I would have done because it would have helped you bridge that gap and try to repair some of the nasty taste in people's mouth that they got and they're having because some items are on these liquidation streams, while being able to, help you get some money and then eventually be able to serve it to people for liquidation at a later time.
Wow.
Kurt, what do you think? Do you think it's more of just like how they handled, it may not have been realistic for them to actually give product back to people or whatever, but do you think for me, it's just like not the lack of saying anything. Like maybe you should just articulate, hey, we can't get this to you. Sorry.
First, I don't think they owe anybody an explanation if they don't want to give it, right? Sure. They own the company. They bought the company, so they can do what they want. But what they should do is should say something. I think you just got to own it. You just got to say, hey, this is what's going on. I think I know we talked about it a bit off pod, Ed, about just saying, hey, this is what we did. This is why you don't have to buy into a Kickstarter. This is what we've done to fund a bit of our insert thing here. They don't even have to say what. We just have to increase the coffers, and we understand that. They have to understand that just because this is old MetaZoo, that they're not building that bad taste in people's mouth whenever they see that Whatnot stream and they see product that was originally never supposed to come to the light of day, right? And they can't think that that's good publicity, right?
Well, the concern too is like you could. Conceivably, if your marketing efforts have already, been out there, you've been percolating for a bit, you could probably be like, oh, well, we don't need the old fans in it. We'll make new fans. But I think for this new set, you're going to have to ride on the old fans at this point.
You have to. You are not generating without like an insane rollout to like LGSs, if you have all it's still just not gonna hit, man. I just, you know what this all boils down to? I just want to see a card. I just want to see a card.
Yeah, and maybe the sentiment will shift, right? Like, oh,
Yeah.
new card came out, and sure they had whatnots, but forgive and forget. We like this community is certainly used to being like,
being let down.
You know, I
yeah,
think a lot of people are kind of just. I don't. You know, I'm kind of feeling like this too. I just want the new stuff to exist, right? Like I want to just see something. You know, you can commission Poncho or Emily or Kelsey or whoever to draw you a cryptid. You know, that's fine. But I want to just like see a card to know that something's being worked on, that I can own something eventually, right? I don't. That's just me personally. It's weird. I don't know.
I think they're working on it. I mean, I think that again,
Can't they give us a
nobody wants the game to fail and be dead on arrival. Like, it's as harsh as I am. I've always loved MetaZoo because it was the thing that got me back into playing trading card games. The problem is that you know, when you say make a lofty goal like Q1, all MetaZoo fans are like, all right, it's January 1st.
Yeah, January 1st. Where's the product?
Where's the product? And so I think that there has to be some more I think that we have to be more realistic as fans when it comes to what we're expecting from Meta2, but also I think Meta2 has to do a better job with their marketing and comms. I think that also if you're gonna reach out, if you're gonna talk like I listened to the Nick Strength of Pokemon interview, and you're gonna say some of these lofty things. If you're gonna go on a show like that and talk about it, and you have all these people, you know, waiting and wanting to see something, you need to immediately come back and be like, okay, this is a version of a card. Like a version of the card would suffice for everybody. I think a version of the card that'll get people hype. They'll start breaking this stuff. And the most important thing is, I guess, getting your old people back involved that aren't the people who are blind. Like, I think as a MetaZoo fan, I know who I can trust in terms of giving fair criticism within MetaZoo, in terms of like not wanting a position or a job, but also not being a hater. Like, I know the people that I know the YouTubers, I know the community members who are going to give me fair assessments. And so you need to move them people along. And what I see now is they don't have them yet. And you need to get them, because they'll be the people who make a video every week or every day about what Meta2 is doing, good, bad, and even sing its praises amongst the masses. And that's what you're going to need right now.
I like that analysis. I think that's good. I think everybody needs like their champions or whatever, and you're seeing it start to fold a little bit. Like some folks, I'm not leading the I hate Meta2 cause at all. I want them to be super successful and all that other wonderful fun stuff too. But my biggest critique as somebody who just makes websites or does this kind of stuff, and it's not even because I'm trying to sell them anything or do anything, but I was like, oh, they've had a game in development supposedly for a while now. How come they don't have a website yet? And then at first I was beat up. I was like, everybody's like, oh, you don't need a website. What do you need a website for? You know, give them time. And I'm like, okay. And now I'm starting to see the trickles of like, they don't have a website yet even. It's Q1. It's all this. So
it's January 1st.
Yeah, I'm just starting to see it. I'm starting to see the trickles, you know, of
like, it's not old MetaZoo, because at least old MetaZoo had a website.
It was horrible. I wouldn't even
horrible,
count
but
it. It was dog water, and that was something I always beat them up about too. For the first one, I was like, I even reached out to Mike at that time. I was like, hey, I love MetaZoo. Can I help fix your website? Can I make an amazing website for you? Ghosted me. It's fine. Like, I don't need, again, that it really doesn't matter. It's just you get these people that are in your fan community that MetaZoo did a lot of that to begin with. They would leverage the fandom for free labor, which I've learned never again. But it's just like there's people that want to see your thing succeed, and you know, I guess the ball's in your court. Start doing it.
Yeah, but you know, I trust the what was it? The Squonk
The
The
Squonk Illuminati.
what the
what-
free
The free
the free
Squonks.
Squonks. I trust the free Squonks. They have decades upon decades of histories within TCGs and growing and building successful games. So the free Squonks will lead Meta2 into the new journey and into this new next chapter. I think us as fans have to be patient, have to give them an honest shake and not treat them like old MetaZoo. Even though that was the best part, like as much as we want to hate on Mike and hate on the team for always being, within arm's reach and being able to talk to them and stuff like that, that was also a huge selling point. Like being able to see Mike at the conventions, talk to him, being able to be on the Discord and say what, chat with them and have the the AMAs and stuff like that. That was what made MetaZoo, and people are going to want that. And then now people are going to also dislike the fact that there isn't that necessary close community that it once was. Like you could say good morning, and you could have like 50 or 60 other good mornings in the Discord server. Now you might not have that.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh no, those are bad. Yeah, the other way this ends, and this would be like the best way to do this, is just be like, you know what? All y'all are talking about our website. Now I have a website, no card back, this, that, and the other. Boom, all one day. Here it is. Here's the website that has the cards, has the content, has the like every little thing on there, all up in center. And I think the hype for that could be so monumental that all of the whatever feelings that people might be currently having would just be washed away. I mean, that's could happen.
Yeah.
Says,
Maybe.
Yeah. Chris, like, what are you smoking?
I mean, this is the thing is at this point in time, they have so much more competition in terms of One Piece, Lorcana, the basic games. They
the
have
small ones, Cryptid Camp, Obscurids.
Like they have, and it's fragmented. That Ed used to call. I'm saying some secret stuff. He used to call us Kickstarter people carnies. Like we're part of we're carnival. We just go from one area to the next game, and that's how we were. And right now, the carnies are spread so far apart. We are in Chronicles Arcane. We're in Cryptid Camp. We're in Obscurids. We're in
Yeah, we're all homeless.
We're all homeless. And so right now, you have to come through with some heat in order to bring these people back.
Yeah,
they got to be like,
we want the power back on. All right.
Yeah, you got to be like, oh, carnies, we're actually going to Vegas and we're going to be doing a residency there for the carnival. So y'all need to pull up here and let all your other games go and come back.
We've been showering at the YMCA for too long.
Living in our Taurus.
Yeah, sleeping in our Taurus. All right. It's time to put the lights back on. Give us a house. All right.
We've been having cup noodle and gas station hot dogs for too long, man. We got to eat real meat. We got to go to the buffet for once.
Please.
Please. We got to stay at the Motel 6 so we can just get a shower, you know? Because it's rough.
We want our dignity back.
We gotta go get our hair cut eventually, you know. We're looking rough out here. It's
oh man.
Just show me a card.
Yeah.
Just show me them cards, Charlie.
Let me see them.
Just show me the cards.
Show me the cards.
Show me the cards.
That and then have the roadmap for where to play. Because also the next caveat is nobody and their mama is going to take it seriously if they don't have a roadmap for gameplay and because that's going to be the base. That's going to be the base for if anybody is going to get back involved. Even the collectors are going to play a little bit. Mm-hmm. That's how you get it back. But but if you think this is just a collectors only thing, maybe if you keep the print, if you lie to us and be like Mike and you keep the print run low and only have like 100 boxes, and then the team keeps like 70%, and then you only have 30 in circulation. Maybe that's the only way.
Yeah, you need to get that hype building like that.
That playbook, that old playbook was actually pretty good. Like,
yeah. And they're like, we'll drip some of the product that we held back out. So either way, we win.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's not a bad playbook. Like it was just done by nefarious people. Like it
Ooh,
was a good playbook, just nefarious people.
dirty deeds.
yeah. They wrong for that though.
They were great
They're wrong.
playbook, man. If they would have got by, if they were just somewhat like not as scummy,
And I would have got away for it if it wasn't
They
for
would've
those
got away
meddling
with
kids.
if they didn't just like blow like 40, 50 mil, I don't. That's the again wildest thing. The financials, like they blew away like 40. Well, how many millions of dollars?
What was it? It was like 52 million or something. I think was the number that was their profits after that year, and where did it all go wrong?
Oh,
Yeah.
printing cards is really expensive. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
If
That website they built, that Shopify website they built. Let me tell
them
you,
servers running the
them
servers.
servers, hundreds of thousands, easy.
Yeah, they.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, man. If that's the issue, and if we can get them, they can get back on track if they just have low print runs, make it real coveted, get people to be hyped about the prices. Like people saw MetaZoo as a financial. I mean, what was it? Drew didn't he pay off his like student loans with MetaZoo?
Yeah, MetaZoo Drew with his uncut sample sheet.
Yeah, if you get back to those days,
yeah,
you can make it happen. Those days with some competition,
life changing
gameplay, you win. But they probably ain't gonna do it.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. It might be, it's going to be so hard to get the OP thing going. That's my biggest concern. Like I saw somebody in the main earlier. They're like, I can't wait for some cards to leak so that way I can go to my LGS that has Friday Night Magic and I can pitch them on MetaZoo. And it's like, brother, we've already been there.
Done that.
We've been through that town.
We've exhausted that resource, and
I
even when we did, like we would pester people so much because we needed to get into Caster Cup or get into like they had a chance and they blew it.
I know I can speak on my own, and I worked so hard to get MetaZoo as a local play scene, and it was like pulling teeth. Like the company wouldn't help me, the LGS wouldn't help me, but for some dumb reason, I felt compelled to get it going. Kurt did even more than I did. I tried.
And I did it all for free.
For clout.
For nothing.
For TCG clout.
TCG clout.
Yeah.
It makes you feel good when you go to conventions.
Yeah.
I
guess.
guess.
Like, oh, the guy.
Yeah, it's bad though, because they kept the name. They kept the name, and every LGS is gonna remember it.
Y'all want to hear a funny story? We're like way over time, but like I love this because this is like
this is a special episode. You know, we get reoccurring guest Easton Evans back on the pod. So
shout out.
And we didn't have a show last week for the holidays, so
okay, bonus content here.
Bonus.
This gives me like a little background about my life, so enjoy. But my parents, they ran a motel. They're hotel runners, so to speak. But there was a stint for several years where they bought a motel, and this motel was the kind of motel that there would be, stabbings and prostitutes and just like bad things happening at the motel. It's the level up from the YMCA sleeping in the tourist. But my point is though, to rebrand the motel so they could later sell it, they changed the name. It used to be called the La Fawn Motel, and they changed it to the La Fun Motel. Now the clientele was the same, but they put a fresh new coat of paint on it. They changed the name and decided to sell it. And I think that might have to be the MetaZoo story is what I'm trying to say. The name MetaZoo, the amount of effort to turn this thing around is going to be substantial. It might be MetaMoo. You got to make it a MetaMoo, Meta 2. I like Meta 2. I think maybe just change it to Meta 2.
No, it can't be anything it can't be anything meta. But again, I'm sure with their breadth of knowledge of TCGs and their long history of building great IPs, that they'll be able to figure something out, but they're gonna have to change that name because there's such a stigma there. Like, not even just domestically, internationally. Like, all of my Australian friends are like, like,
Not today.
Not today, mate.
Wait, Union Arena, or was it Arena? What is it? The new game that came out too with the anime, Union Arena.
Yeah. I have some news on that I could share, but I decided to skip it.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
you don't.
Yeah, there's just so many more games now, and they're actually like decent IPs that are already built into it.
Yeah. The Union Arena, it's got like Yu Yu Hakusho and stuff in there.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I know those guys. Yeah. Metazoo. I don't know. It's fun to speculate. It's fun to talk about. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
It's. I just want to see a card, man.
Same.
Just
Here,
show me.
I'll show you a card right here.
All right.
Cryptid Camp Hoop Log.
That's Tio de Nadal.
Yeah. And I'll tell you this. Listen, these Cryptid Camp cards, they're like good quality. Like, they actually feel nice. Like, they're not. I don't know. My expectations were lowered with MetaZoo, but those Kickstarter MetaZoo cards, the original ones.
Oh yeah, those like sandpaper.
Fine grit.
Oh man!
You play a couple rounds with those unsleeved, you're like, I need the lotion.
Yeah.
That was all part of the charm, you know. It's the fourth walls, you know. It's
that too. If they change that, oh man, they gotta keep. I don't want them to be too official. Like, Charlie, if y'all hear me, don't be too official. Don't do it. Don't like try to be too much of a real TCG. Keep it like unhinged, like Magic. An unhinged version of a legal unhinged version of Magic is where the sweet spot is.
Yeah.
Have people carry them fishing rods and them plants and different things around, because that is like the greatest marketing tool you can ever have. You're having direct communication with people because they're starting up conversations because of that. If you take that away and you try to make this buttoned up, like official, real sweaty game, it's going to the poopa.
the poopa.
The poopa.
The Tio de Nadal.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It has to be a fun, like somewhat competitive, unhinged version of Magic. Once you get to like it's too official, nah, people ain't gonna. The carnies don't like that.
Nah, we like the junk.
Yeah,
we like the cotton candy.
The Jersey Devil screams. That's what it has to be there.
Yeah. Real squonk tears.
Yeah.
You don't even know if these are the rules. You just kind of play by it. You're like,
yeah. You're like,
baby.
Well,
Beast of Busco, I'm gonna twist my hand around, do some weird stuff. I win.
I kill all your cards.
Yeah.
Shuffling up your cards.
Judge, can you do that?
Right?
I don't, probably. Let's see him do it. I want to see him do it with his hand. Let's see. Oh man, what?
All right, so you got it like that.
Yeah. Okay. It's legal.
You got Joga.
Yeah, Joga. Don't get me started.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. Well, it was good stacking the deck with you guys.
For sure.
We got to wrap this one up. We're in OT. Yeah.
All right.
Edward Chalupa signing off. Easton Evans out. Kurt Tax Masterson's out.
Peace.
Tired of being homeless. See you in the next one.
Give us a home. Show us a card.
Show us a card.